Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Yes, Edwin. Okay. So.
Please continue.
Okay. Okay. So, Bhagavan was saying that this crisis will be there for another 18 months or so. So, we will all experience this financial crisis for some more time, or else man would never change. Life itself. Hello.
Can you
Yes.
click your video?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, this crisis would go on for another 18 months or so until June of 2011. All of us will face this crisis, but definitely with divine help, we could manage somehow to get out of this crisis, for our respective families. The main thing is, if we work on our relationships, we will be able to channelize the divine grace easily towards prosperity. Because prosperity comes when the family is together, whatever is the situation, whatever is the problem, if we fight it out together and if we stay united, then we'll be able to come out of any of the crises we have in our lives. So you could focus on that and ask the divine to help you financially become stable by getting connected to your family, experience what is going on for Lakshmi or Rano, to each and every one of you, and Aditi and all the people, and see what you're going through and ask the divine to help you, as a family. And I think definitely some good result would come up soon. And I'll also pray for it, Premavati ji. Okay? You're welcome. Okay. Yes?
There's a youth program coming up, and we would really like to see at least 100 youths participate. So
Okay.
if you can pray for us, and if you could shed any light on it to the audience of how they can help.
Okay.
When is it coming up?
The program is January 30 and 31st.
Okay, it's a
Catherine
good.
will be facilitating.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
January.
January 30th.
January, I got it. Okay. So, youth course is an important part of all our courses because the youth are our future. So, what we do with their lives is what we do for the nation. So, youth play an integral part of life, and they have to work on the relationship with their parents so that they start progressing in their academics, in their life spiritually also, and prosperity wise also. If they're going to do a job or they're going to work part-time or whatever they're going to do, they need divine help. And that can come if we receive regular blessings from our parents, and these youth courses will help them get connected to the parents and get connected to the divine so that we receive spiritual help and we do very good at academics, and also we'll be able to bring the best out of us, bring out our best qualities, and we'll be able to receive divine grace easily through all that. Okay? So,
We have another question, Vikram.
yes, the last one.
We're seeing a lot of earthquakes in the world, and
Okay.
some of us here are wondering if we are safe in our area.
Okay. All of us are definitely safe. All the people sitting here, all of us are definitely safe. I think it has something to do with our inner reality, So as we start mending our relationship with the other person, rather than understand the other person, as we start experiencing the other person, it could be our life partner, it could be our children, it could be our boss, it could be anybody for that matter, any stranger on the road. If we start relating to the other person giving him freedom, experiencing also that freedom and space within us. None of these things would disturb us. And we have Amma Bhagavan also with us. So definitely all these things would only affect the people who are not tuned to the divine, and all of us are going to be safe. I can guarantee you all that. Okay?
Thank you.
I need to ask another question as an authorization.
Yes. We could go for another question, no problem.
Thank you very much. We needed authorization from Bhagavan for our work to expand to the Caribbean region. We had started a
Okay.
discussion, it has only happened in one of the islands. We've seen how
Okay.
Haiti has been ravaged. We need to get some kind of grace authorization. How can we expand? Guyana has been in the radar for a long time, but we have not gotten authorization to move in to do some work there. I know we can do it separate, individually, but many of us have our relatives in these parts of the world, and we want to get some guidance with how to get trainers, people trained from there to come to the university. So it may not be an answer you give now, it's just a message to Bhagavan that we are reminding him of this request for us to have authorization
Okay.
and expanding the work to the Caribbean
Okay.
region.
Okay. Okay. Hello? Is it audible? Hello, is it audible?
Yes.
Is it audible? Edwin?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So what Bhagavati ji could do is, she could send me a mail describing what she's expecting, or what is the authorization she's expecting, and what kind of help she wants from the divine. And I would pass it on to the guide who takes care of Bhagavan, and then I would send her a response from that.
Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So she could send a mail to me directly, and I would forward it to the right person. And once I get a response from Bhagavan, I would send it back to Bhagavati ji. Okay? Okay, you're welcome. Okay? So tell me, Edwin, what shall we do next?
You want to read this?
Yes.
Okay, what is your name? Bara? Bharati,
Balaji.
Sastry. Let me show you what she looks like. Okay.
Okay. Stay.
She asked me to read this to you. Okay, she wants to ask. Okay, tell me. Bharati is suffering from wanting to move to a bigger house.
Okay.
Heal her heart from this suffering.
Okay. Okay.
And
That is it?
And the second part is Vandana needs a job with a salary, and
Okay.
her field is in film and English.
Okay. Okay. I'll pray for that, and I'll bless them for that. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Good to see you all gathered here.
Last minute question.
One last question.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes, Dasa, namaste. I have one
Namaste.
question. Do you have any medicine for classroom problem?
Classroom.
Yeah, classroom. Like when children having difficulty in class, do you have any
Okay.
medicine for them?
Okay.
For learning.
Yes, for learning.
For learning.
Okay.
For better learning.
Better learning.
Okay, I got it. So what all the children could do is, whichever subject is difficult for them, they can focus on that subject for 3 days, just thinking about the subject, reading the subject, going through it day and night, and even having dreams about that subject. You must become involved with that subject, whether you know it or not, whether you understand it or not, or whether you hate that subject, whatever it is. However difficult the subject is, if you work on it for 3 days and only dream of it and think of it, for 3 days, the brain would change itself and would adapt itself according to the subject. It could be math, science, or any complicated subject. But if you stay with it for 3 days completely, without paying attention to anything else, just focusing on your subject, however difficult it is, you will definitely become successful in that. This Bhagavan is told to many people, and I'm sharing it with you. So I think it's easier if you have even 7 subjects, you can make it up in 21 days. So none of those subjects are difficult. The whole thing is, we feel that we will not be able to do well in that subject. It is something to do with our perception about the subject or somebody's input about that subject, that mathematics is very difficult or science is very difficult and very complicated. It has something to do with our perception. Because subject itself is never difficult, and the teachers do not present it in an interesting way. When Bhagavan had his school in Satyalok, Bhagavan used to take them in a different mode into the subject, and people used to love that subject. Okay, so it has something to do with the teachers and how the students also perceive the teacher. If you love the teacher, definitely you love that subject. So it has something to do with how you relate to your teacher, and you must work on that subject for 3 days. Then any subject would become child's play for you after that. Okay?
Thank you, Vikram.
You're welcome, Edwin, and all of you.
Your question?
Okay.
Those are going to Bhagavan directly. Can you share with us, we heard about the news with the 2 Dasajis. Can you share with us what happened and what is the...
Okay. We have a guide. We had a guide in the name of Vikas, and there was another guide's brother who was working as a supervisor in GC2, and his name was Pavan. Okay. So a few months ago, Vikas was made the campus in charge of GC2, and he used to stay in the nights in GC1, and every day he used to go to GC2, work in the campus, take care of the campus, and come back, because we started accommodating Westerners there. So we wanted to have a good person who knows that campus very well. So Vikasji was made campus in charge of that campus, and they were coming. They had to travel 5 kilometers back to GC1. The route from GC1 to GC2 has changed. We are having a northeast entrance now. The entrance we had during our temple opening. So we have a new road there, and there is plenty of water going into the fields by the side of the road and all that. So this supervisor Pavan was coming for an evening duty, for the night duty, and because he finished his work around 8:45 like that, they were coming back from that, and that time I think one of a trailer or something like that came opposite, and Pavan has a natural tendency of driving very fast. So a lot of us also are aware of that. And I think in one of the turnings, I think the trailer's back, the corner of the trailer dashed them, and they fell into the water there. They became unconscious, and they got suffocated. They were not able to breathe within that water. Their heads were turned inside. They fell like that. And by the time we reached out to them, because it was very dark there, and it's not the main road, it's off the main road going into another village, and from there we have a deviation towards the university. So on that way they fell into that water, and they became unconscious. And by the time we reached out to them, one of the vehicles was passing. We saw the two-wheeler lying there. We did not know it was that of our vehicles. Then a few doctors were there, and they reached the scene, and they helped them out to come outside. And after they checked their pulse, but it was gone by that time. I think they had some injuries on their head, and their head was within the water. So they were not able to breathe, and by the time we discovered them, it was more than 10 minutes. So by the time they had passed away, we tried to take them to the doctors, to the nearby, we have a nursing home called 15 kilometers away in a place called Sulurpeta. It's a main town there. So the doctors told that the pulse is gone, and we can do nothing about it. And then we called the parents, and we did all the rituals for Vikasji in the campus. And Amma and Bhagavan came and blessed Vikas that he must attain moksha. And yesterday also we did the 11th day ritual according to the Hindu tradition. And we were praying for him to attain moksha. And Bhagavan also has blessed him with moksha, so that he moves into the higher realms. And he was always a very good person. He was a member of my room, He used to stay in my room. 5, 6 of us stay together in one of the rooms in GC1, the temple campus. he was always a very good friend of ours, and this was highly unexpected. So all of us were stunned because of that. We were pained because of all that, and so the next day we did the rituals. The parents came, and Amma and Bhagavan also came. Amma came from Nemam, and Amma blessed Vikas, and we all prayed for his moksha. So
We all send our condolences.
that is not. Yes, thank you. So shall we go into prayer now?
Yes,
Mataji?
we'll do the blessing.
Okay. So I would pray for both of them, and then I will also be praying, and all of you will also be praying both of them, and for the old lady and for another friend of ours, that they must receive grace in their lives, and all of us also must tune into the divine more and more, so that we start getting more and more grace in our lives, so that we progress towards 2012. Spiritually and also at all other levels, so that we have the strength to face the complications which are going to arise because of all these crises, and that we always have the divine with us to bulldoze that and be successful in our lives, since we know the divine better than many other people outside. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So let's close our eyes and we'll go into prayer.
వీళ్ళు అందరూ తను సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు. వాళ్ళు తనకే సమర్పిస్తారు. చేయండి. ప్లాన్ చేయమ్మా, ప్లాన్ చేయి. అలాగే శుద్ధి అలాగే చేయండి. ఎంత ఉన్నారు కదా మరి.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So namaste to all of you.
Namaste.
See you.
Thank you, Dad.
Namaste. Namaste to.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Love you, Dasaji.
Namaste. Bye.
Thanks, Amma
Bye.
Bhagavan.
Thank you. You too.
Amma Bhagavan,
Namaste. I'll definitely convey all your Amma Bhagavan.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
So next time when he comes, he has to come with
Dasji, can you send us the date for the next Skype, please? Email it to
Definitely. We have a Varadikshamala ritual which is going on till February 10th. And Bhagavan is busy with those darshans also for all those people. So we will have a Skype call after 10th. I think 14th or so. I think we have a Saturday, Sunday weekend at that time. We will plan for that weekend or the next one. Okay?
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you again.
Okay. Namaste. Bye.